Hello, Katie and Declan.
Hello.
Thank you for agreeing to doing this today, to getting your feedback on the Healthy Relationships course that you did. We did the How to Argue Better course, or the Argue Better course, about 3 weeks ago.
Yes.
So I'm going to ask you some questions for your feedback. Can you start to see some changes?
100%.
Oh yeah,
100%.
totally. Like we've come a long way
Yeah,
from how we were.
We
Like,
actually sit down and talk about stuff now instead of just like blanking each other.
yeah,
and
it's
just
like
getting on with life.
I'd just walk off and just ignore you and just wait for you to apologise, and it just wasn't a very healthy way. We also found that the way we were, our children wasn't coping very well with how we were reacting to certain things. So now they're actually communicating with us better, and we're listening to them. So it just, we're just completely different people now.
Yeah.
I feel like we've just woken up.
That's brilliant.
Yes.
Have you done much with your children? So that listening, and I think we talked about not asking questions to her, and it was that not telling her what to do, asking her.
Yes. So when she's had a bit of an off day, bad day at school, we listen to her now instead of being like, you're going here and we're doing this. So we sit down and listen to her.
We've noticed she started opening up a lot more to us as well, because usually after school she'd start shouting at us, and I think it was her way of releasing as soon as she got home from school. But now she's actually telling us about her day, and like yesterday she was like, I really don't like maths, like it's really hard. It's quite boring. But she's never ever done that before. She's always said, I can't remember what I've done at school. But because we're giving her that chance, like we're settling her in back at home, and then we're going, oh, so how was your day? And then she's like having a drink, and she's like, actually I did this today, instead of just going, right, you're having your dinner, you're having this, and she's actually, we've noticed a massive change in her.
She's really happy as well.
And because we don't argue in front of her anymore, so that's always a good thing. Like, we didn't realise we were arguing that much. Like, I think it was just kind of like, nah.
It's really good to know that it's normal to argue.
Yeah,
and that's how you talk things through. But the way you argue is really important for children, isn't it?
And we also make sure if we do have a little bit of a disagreement, we're like, oh, actually, yes, I agree with how you are, and we kind of like make up in that sense, so she knows it's healthy to apologise and step back and go, actually, I was wrong.
Yeah, that's massive. Yeah, that's like a huge thing for a child to just, and hopefully that'll all impact on our school, and is she wanting to go to school now a bit more?
Yeah, she
is.
Good.
Yeah. Well, that's brilliant.
We've had a couple of weeks of no tears, so that's been amazing.
So tell us a little bit about when you first heard about the course and how you were feeling around that time.
By our health visitor, I think. Our health visitor, she referred us just because we were struggling a little bit with our little boy with the hospital and everything, and we weren't communicating. And she said, oh, I can get you some like therapy type thing. And we had no idea what it was. And as soon as the course came up with Argue Better, we looked at each other like,
we ain't that bad.
What? We don't argue. Yeah. Why are we going on an arguing course? Like, we were very like, oh, I'm not sure about this.
Yeah.
But as soon as we started looking into it, we actually was like,
let's give it a go.
Yes, definitely.
To talk more as well.
Yeah, I think that's one of the main things, like talking to each other. We weren't communicating at all.
No, because how busy our lives is and how stressful everything is, we just didn't ever talk.
No.
Yeah. Declan, how did you feel? Have you done courses before? Was this a new thing?
So I've done a lot of courses before. And when Kate told me about the Argue Better course, I was like, I don't know. I wasn't sure about it. With a bit of persuasion from Kate, she got me on board, and then we started doing it.
We was going through the questions, weren't we? You were getting quite into it, and I was like, just, it's not a race. Like,
that on the did you try to get onto the digital package first?
Yeah. You were having a look at the digital package, and you was like, oh, I'm on this page, and I was like, it's not a race. Like, you were getting really into it, weren't you?
Yeah.
So when we did the course, can you remember what was that light bulb moment, the thing we talked about that maybe, can you remember?
So the moment that stuck with both of us is the 7 seconds and repeating and listening. I think taking the 7 seconds just to listen to not just your wife, anyone, it can really help someone else.
I think it registers more.
Yeah,
once you've listened and then you've commentated back on their situation, it makes them feel better, and then we actually understand better. Because I think I would tell you about my day, and then you'd be like, well, you've not asked me about my day, and this is what's happened, and then we'd both just carry on. We've had one more day, and I was like, well, we've not actually resolved anything, and none of us are feeling any better.
That's great. So you sort of stop and count to that 7, repeating back what each other are saying.
And we've also like progressed this onto everybody else as well. We've like projected it onto other people. Like, look, this 7 seconds is, and they laugh at us. They laugh, and I'm like, no, it's really good. Just give it a try.
Just try it. And then they go out and try it, and it actually does work. But I think the other thing what stuck with, especially me, was looking at the videos online.
Yeah.
On part of the course.
Yeah.
And kind of being an outsider looking in, and it was very, I don't know, it was crazy to see his faults and her faults on each side and picking them out, and kind of like being like, oh, that might be a little bit like us.
Yeah, that's what we're into.
It's like having that ability to look at a relationship from the outside, because you don't get that when you're in an argument.
No.
And you don't get time to reflect on it. Is there anything else you'd like to share? Because it's really good to hear the feedback. Is there anything you'd say to someone who was thinking about doing this course and put off?
Oh yeah,
100%. Don't be put off with the Argue Better course. Like, it's different. It's not what you think.
Yeah, the name sounds scary. Like,
but it's not.
How do I need to argue better? But I think everybody should go through this course once in their life, just to think about how your partner feels, because it's sometimes relationships, life gets in the way, and I think sometimes you forget that you need to talk to each other and you need to listen. And I think that's the worst thing. Not listening can really impact on your day-to-day lives. And sometimes you don't even realise that you need that extra help, because we didn't think we did. No. We thought we just weren't communicating properly, and we was like, oh, we just need someone to tell us what to do. But
and you know what? I don't think I even told you what to do. You've just worked it out yourself. Just having that space to talk about it.
I think there's so much more to this course than just sitting there talking to your partner about.
Yeah.
It's opening up more. I don't know. There's a lot to
like
it. There's
life skills. As well,
it's
I'd
massive.
say.
Yeah, it's more than just. Oh, okay, we're not going to argue anymore. Do you know what I mean? There's so much more to it, and it is an insight for people to probably jump on board and do it.
Oh, definitely.
It is really good.